Well, hey, it's day 14. If you made it this far, I am so proud of you. I'm so thankful that you joined me. This challenge, we had at least 2,300 people doing it all together that downloaded the checklist. I'm not sure if all of them made it to day 14, but still I'm so excited that so many of you participated this time. I've been doing these challenges. I think this group is actually 5 or 6 years old. We've been doing challenges, sticking to the plan, all kinds of different challenges. And this has been pretty fun for the quarantine, just doing a small task every day to help you reach your goals. It's not meant to be overwhelming. If you are not on day 14 or you didn't stick with it, that's okay. You could start over. You could just jump in where you are. We're gonna be starting the 2-week challenge over again tomorrow, starting with day 1. So I'd love for you to join in. And I also wanna note that if you didn't get the quarantine guide, you can still download that. I emailed it to everybody on my email list. The quarantine guide has a full 30-day checklist for you to try to stay on plan for 30 days. It gives you podcast suggestions, recipe suggestions, exercise suggestions, just some tips to help you stay on track. So check that out. Join in tomorrow with day 1 if you want to start fresh or keep going. Imagine at the end of this next 2 weeks, we'll have 28 days on plan, 28 days of building THM habits, lots of good stuff to help us continue to move forward. So today on day 14, we were making a recipe from any THM recipe, anything you haven't tried before. So this recipe that I made, I totally cheated. I'm going to show you guys what I did. But the reason that I want you to experiment just a little bit is, first, we all have to be a little creative right now. I don't know if your store is sold out of things like mine is, but I'm having to substitute a lot of ingredients. I'm having to be a little more inventive in the kitchen, which is kind of fun. It's kind of good experience. A lot of times, I've mentioned this before, we will write recipes off if we realize we're missing one thing to make a recipe. And instead of doing that, it's good to just look around and see what you have that you can substitute. For today's mini little task, making a THM recipe, I'm going to show you what I made. It's cheating because I've made wonderful white blender bread from Trim Healthy Table so many times, like more times than I can count, but it makes a big loaf. And so I also didn't have a lot of time today. So I was flipping through the book trying to choose my recipe, and I saw that I've never made the individual servings, the single serve wonderful white blender bread. So it's kind of cheating because I've made wonderful white blender bread before from Trim Healthy Table, but I made the individual size today. So this is what it looks like, and I think it's adorable. This is how mine came out. It's like just a fluffy square of bread, and then you slice it in half, and you can make a sandwich with it. I'm gonna make some, probably have some cinnamon and butter on mine and make it into toast for the morning. But I made it in this little Pyrex dish that I have. I just put it in there, and then you microwave it for just under 2 minutes. It took me less than 5 minutes total to make the whole thing. And actually, I doubled the single serve recipe in the book, and then I just poured half into my little dish to go in the microwave at a time. So I've got 2 here that I made. So wonderful white blender bread, that's a mouthful, is excellent, by the way. I don't like a lot of low carb breads because of the eggy taste. This one just doesn't have as much of an eggy taste. It is a very soft bread, and I'll show you the texture. It looks, I don't know if you can see it. There's some holes in it. It looks, I mean, it's actually pretty good. But I really like toasting it. Toasting it is my favorite way to eat the wonderful white blender bread. I'm having the Trim Train Italian soup for dinner tonight. It's an FP, but I'm gonna cut my second, I'm gonna have one for breakfast tomorrow. The other one, I'm gonna slice it in half and make into garlic bread tonight to eat with the Trim Train soup. So that's gonna be pretty tasty. I'm kind of excited about it. But if you haven't tried wonderful white blender bread, that is a great suggestion for your recipe that you haven't tried before, because it's so good. The other day I made a loaf. Actually, I think it was last week. I made a loaf of the wonderful white blender bread. I toasted 2 slices, and I had it with egg salad for an egg salad sandwich. It was delicious. It's really, I think, I've tried tons and tons and tons of S recipes. This bread is an FP, so it's low carb, but it's also low fat. You can have it with an E. Sorry, my hood's all messed up. You can have it with an E, you can have it with an S, you can have it with an FP. And this is really the best one I've tasted from Trim Healthy Table. All the recipes that I've tried, I really love it. A lot of recipes overdo the eggs, overdo the psyllium husks. This one is not like that. It's pretty good. Toast in the morning, toast with bacon and eggs. I make breakfast sandwiches out of it. Like I said, egg salad, regular sandwiches, having it just hot with butter with soup is so good. So that's my pick for today. That's what I made. I just made the individual serving size, even though I've had the big loaf before. I would love to hear what recipe you tried today that you've never tried before. So please comment and let us know what you had. And I'm asking you to do that, not just because, I mean, I know you're probably used to on YouTube and Facebook, people saying comment and blah, blah, blah. The reason I'm doing it, this group is private. You have to be admitted to it and everything, the Facebook group. It's not just for anybody to see, but I want you all to get ideas from each other. That's one of the best things about Trim Healthy Mama is the community. Getting new ideas, getting new suggestions, staying motivated. Maybe you could write down 5 new recipes that you haven't tried and try them over the next few weeks. Why not? I mean, if you have the stuff. There's just a lot of different things to try. So again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining in on this challenge. It has been a blast and we're not done yet. We're starting over tomorrow, day 1. If you're missing any resources, I'm going to be posting them in the Facebook group so that you can grab them and do just everything in order with us, starting with day 1 tomorrow. So stay with me and we will be finishing this up today. Let me know what recipe you try and I will talk to you soon.